Chosen one, stop. Listen carefully. God broke through 3 barriers of absolute security just to find you right now. The time for hiding is over. What you are about to receive will irreversibly change your plans for tomorrow. Do not close this video. If you leave in the next 60 seconds, you will miss the exact frequency that has been trying to reach you for months. This is not just another video. It is a high-level emergency transmission. Your spirit recognizes this. Your pulse has changed because this is a command, not a suggestion. It is not an algorithm. It is a divine execution in real time. At 11:47 p.m. on the spiritual plane, exactly 13 minutes before divine midnight, a legal seal bearing your name was broken. What lies within will not wait until dawn. The Holy Spirit intercepted your path, blocked every distraction, and placed you before these words in this exact microsecond. This is not by chance. It is a legally mandated appointment. Today is your anniversary. It's the exact answer to that question you asked when you were 7, or the one you screamed in despair in your car last month. You forgot, but heaven has the date marked on the official record. Tonight, the answer knocks at your door with authority. You are prepared for what's coming. But I'm giving you a direct warning. What I'm about to reveal will shatter your old beliefs about your suffering in God's supposed silence. You will understand who you truly are and recognize the true nature of your plans for tomorrow. Don't go. Stay with me because this is just the beginning. Listen carefully. Prepare yourself. Once you know this, there's no going back. If you're afraid, leave now. Are you still here? Good. You have legal permission to receive the information download. This transmission has 3 levels of authority. If you ignore the next 90 seconds, nothing that follows will make sense to you. I don't have legal permission to give you the 3rd level until you understand why the seal was broken precisely today. Listen carefully. There's a file in heaven with your legal name. It's not your nickname. It's the name assigned to you before you could even speak. That file has been locked away since your birth. But today, at this very second, the seal was broken. Here's a stark truth you won't hear in any church. God didn't seal that file. You did. Before entering this physical body, you yourself submitted a formal request in the heavenly courts. Your order was clear. Do not let me remember prematurely. Do not allow me to see the information until I have the strength to bear it. You knew perfectly well that if you knew your power before undergoing trials, you would force the mission without the proper equipment. That silence you called abandonment was actually your own war strategy, designed before you were even born. And today, the stopwatch that you yourself activated reached 0. In Revelation 3, verse 20, a call is recorded. In Greek, the exact word is kruo. It is not a gentle knock on the door. It is a military blow, urgent and violent. It is the blow of one who has no time for protocols. It is the noise that has been echoing in your spirit for a week. That restlessness you feel is not anxiety. It is heaven knocking on the door of your conscience, saying, "The seal is broken. Are you ready?" But before we go any further, let me diagnose your true condition. You're not tired or confused. You're suffering from something religion ignores. Spiritual manipulation. If you feel it, your body just reacted. That lump in your throat is physical proof of what I'm saying. Listen carefully and don't move. Don't ignore this message because what's coming is big, and it's not arriving sooner because you weren't ready. Comment, "I am the chosen one," right now if you feel this authority running through your veins. Your chest feels heavy. Your eyes burn. Finally, someone puts a name to what's secretly consuming you. Spiritual gaslighting. This happens when you receive real signs and direct downloads from heaven, but no one around can confirm them. Then you doubt. You think you've lost your mind or that you're desperate. Stop lying to yourself. Spiritual gaslighting is sitting at 2 a.m. staring at your phone's light, seeking confirmation because you saw numerical signs for 5th time this week. It's when a stranger says the exact phrase you dreamt 3 months ago, but when you try to explain, you get judged. You're alone in the dark wondering, am I one of the chosen ones or have I lost my mind? And the thought you're ashamed to admit is, if I'm so special, why is my life such a mess? Why am I still waiting all alone? Listen carefully. That thought that torments you is not a lack of faith. It is the toxic residue of the manipulation you have allowed. Someone sold you the lie that being chosen means the absence of suffering. You were deceived. The pain was not a punishment or a sign that God ignored you. It was tactical training. Every betrayal you suffered taught you discernment. Every loss forced you to detach. Every absolute silence destroyed your ego. They didn't abandon you. They were preparing you for the high-level war. Psalm 102, verse 7 is clear. I lie awake, like a bird alone on a rooftop. The technical term is shakad. It's not mere insomnia. It's active military vigilance. When Jeremiah said, I do not know how to speak, for I am too young, he was giving the typical response of a chosen one who doesn't yet grasp the magnitude of his power. God commands you today. You are set apart. You are appointed for this operation. Wait, don't move, and don't skip the video. Stay with me until the end, because the exact reason God delayed this revelation is about to be revealed. Comment, I accept my training. Right now, if you understand that your pain had a strategic purpose. Jeremiah faced the same dissonance you do. God was affirming one reality, while his circumstances screamed the opposite. That pressure is crushing you. But notice the pattern. God didn't argue with him. He didn't try to encourage him with empty words. He gave him a direct command. Don't say I'm young. You will go wherever I send you, and say exactly what I command you. Listen carefully to this. Being ready is a mental trap. You will never feel prepared. The mission will always be greater than your individual capacity. Because if you could accomplish alone, God wouldn't be necessary. Stop waiting for a feeling of security. Your war gear is delivered to you on the front lines, in the moment of need, not in advance. Now, the truth that will reconfigure your entire system, that file with your name that opened today, isn't a plan for an uncertain future. It's not a to-do list. It's a report of what you already accomplished in the spiritual realm before you were born. You're not reading your destiny. You're recalling your legal past. You already accepted this mission. You already volunteered in the celestial courts. You already gave your definitive yes. The seal was broken today not because God is finally allowing you into the plan, but because you've finally reached the frequency necessary to remember who you are. You will not receive new information. It will feel like coming home after a long battle. But why the delay? Why the absolute silence? The religious answer is that God is protecting you, that your system couldn't handle the truth. They say God encrypted the information out of mercy to unlock it today. That's the basic answer. It's true, but it's incomplete. Understand this. You were in heaven's planning room. You saw the entire mission, calculated the operational cost, and you yourself gave the order, don't let me remember ahead of time. You knew perfectly well that if you knew your real identity before the tests, you would try to force the result and you would exhaust yourself before starting the real battle. You designed the silence. You started that timer. The waiting that hurt you so much wasn't abandonment. It was your own war strategy. Your eternal self ensured that your biological self wouldn't self-destruct before reaching the goal. This isn't a religious mystery, but a technical safeguard. But the waiting time has run out. The safe is opening before your eyes right now. What lies within is not an abstract prophecy. It is your recovered prenatal memory. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11 states that God has placed eternity in the human heart. This concept is repeated with surgical precision in Job, Daniel, Acts, and Joel. It always describes the same thing. Your soul remembering what it already knew before inhabiting this physical body. You possess memories that are older than your birth, and tonight they are being brought to light by higher power. But here's the key question. How do you access that information without distorting it? How do you distinguish a real download from your own mental illusions? That's what the Midnight Protocol is for. It's a 3-door security system. Most callers only find the first door. A few manage to reach the second. But the third door is the reason I'm running this transmission today. That door only opens during specific windows of time, and you just step through one of them. Wait, don't move, and don't skip the video. Stay here, because I'm going to explain Gate 1. If you ignore it, the other gates will legally remain closed to you. Gate 1 is recognition. This is where you identify signals designed exclusively for your personal frequency. Forget the general signals. Not all the chosen ones operate under the same code. Your soul has its own encrypted language, and at gate 1 you learn to decode it immediately. To cross it, you will do the following. In the next 48 hours, you will detect 3 events too precise to be a coincidence. An exact phrase you thought in the morning, spoken by a stranger, or a number that appears 13 minutes before midnight. Do this exercise now. Visualize yourself standing before a door of light. On the other side is a version of you who has already successfully completed the mission. Mentally knock 3 times. Don't force the image. Just observe with authority. You will hear a word, see an image, or feel a heavy certainty in your chest. Write it down immediately. Not tomorrow. Tonight. If you don't anchor the download, the information evaporates. That is the midnight protocol: recognition, validation, and transmission. Do you think this is just a theory? Listen to what happened to the one I call the engineer. He followed the protocol exactly as I instructed and contacted me at 4 a.m. on. The engineer was in shock. They weren't tears of relief, but tears of pure astonishment. What he received shattered every doubt he had carried for years of stagnation. This man was stuck for 3 years. He had the degree and the technical skills, but every door slammed in his face. He began to believe the religious lie that God was rejecting him. But one Tuesday night, he decided to activate the protocol. He walked through gate 1 and recognized the signs he'd ignored out of sheer intellectual arrogance. A specific phrase his grandfather used to repeat began to appear in the most absurd places in his routine. The engineer acknowledged the signal aloud, asserting his authority. He advanced to gate 2 and validated the message. The phrase brought him a profound peace, aligned with the word, and demanded the level of leadership he himself had been avoiding out of cowardice. He fulfilled the Spirit's legal requirements. At 11:47 p.m., he stood before his mental gate, knocked 3 times, and awaited the discharge. What he received wasn't a fleeting feeling. It was a clear voice that spoke his childhood nickname, a coded detail known only to his deceased grandmother. The instruction was a direct order. Apply for the position you think you're unqualified for, the one you saw last week and passed up because you were afraid. He thought he was losing his mind, but he obeyed the divine command. He applied the next morning. It wasn't 3 days. It was 3 hours. The hiring manager called him with a strange confession. We weren't planning on interviewing anyone else, but something physically compelled me to open your resume. In 6 weeks, he had the job. In 6 months, his income tripled. But the real miracle wasn't the money. It was a truth he confessed to me later. The voice that gave me the order didn't sound like external thunder. It sounded like myself, like a version of me that already knew this would work. That's exactly what happens at Gate 3. You don't just receive information from God. You receive it from your future self, that part of you that has already walked the path and now guides your steps in the present. In 1 Samuel 3, verse 10, Samuel heard the voice 3 times before understanding who was calling. Divine transmissions often sound like your own. Process thoughts. There are no unnecessary choirs of angels. There's a quiet knowing and clarity that feels both strange and familiar. Physical reality rearranges itself to coincide with the instruction at the exact moment you obey. This is available to you tonight. Not when you are more spiritual by human standards. It is right now. Don't leave. Every part matters, and there's a legal reason you're still here. Listen carefully, because what's coming is the closing of the Midnight Protocol. Comment: I obey the voice right now if you're ready to receive your command instruction. The protocol works. I verified it with hundreds of chosen ones. But I've also seen the fate of those who listen, agree, and don't act. Their suffering is worse. Now they know the truth but lack the courage to act on it. Understand this. Knowing there's a door and choosing to stay outside out of cowardice is the worst kind of misery. I'll ask you a question of authority right now. Will you be like the engineer, or will you be one of those who accumulate useless information without wielding any real power? What's coming demands tactical movement, not just passive listening. You haven't moved because you're afraid of failure. What truly terrifies you is success. You're afraid of winning. That fear is so shameful that you disguise it under the guise of waiting for clarity or trusting God's timing. But the question gnawing at your soul is, what if I get everything I asked for and prove I was never good enough? What if my circle falls apart because they only love the weak, controllable version of me? You've endured this far because you're ready for the raw truth. This transmission reached you today because it's your legal anniversary, not the anniversary of your physical birth, but the anniversary of your first real prayer, the one you made before religion corrupted you, when you cried out, "God, if you're real, use me no matter the cost." You forgot. Heaven hasn't. The record is marked, and today the veil between that plea and your present is as thin as paper. Habakkuk 2 verse 3 states that revelation awaits an appointed time, the mode. It is not a random date. It is a fixed divine appointment on the celestial calendar. Your breakthrough is not late. It is on its exact date. And today, the appointment is fulfilled. But I give you a war warning. The moment the seal is broken, the attack intensifies. The enemy knows exactly what will happen in your next 40 days. He knows which doors will open and will try to sabotage you. He won't use lightning. He'll use subtle infiltration tactics. Over the next 40 days, you'll face 7 specific attacks in sequential order. Once you know the enemy's playbook, their power is neutralized. The first attack is displacement. You'll feel a sudden, inexplicable urge to abandon everything. Your job, your location, or your relationships. The urgency will be so intense that you'll try to convince yourself it's God. But here's the key to detecting the deception. The enemy's urgency is never peaceful. It's just noise and pressure. Wait, don't move, and don't skip the video. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to reveal the other 6 attacks. If you don't know them, you'll fall into the trap right before you cross the finish line. The displacement attack is pure operational panic. You feel that if you don't flee now, something terrible will happen. It's a lie. It's high-frequency interference. The enemy knows exactly who will enter your life in the next 48 hours, and their goal is for you to be gone before the appointment. Counter-strategy: don't move for 72 hours. If the urgency dies down in 3 days, it was a detected attack. If it persists with solid peace, it's divine guidance. The second attack is identity confusion. You will wake up believing you made all this up, that you're nothing special. This is a natural doubt. It's induced noise in your radio signal. The enemy knows that if you forget your rank, you'll fail the mission. Counter: state your legal name 3 times and authoritatively declare, "I am sent by the Most High God. I am assigned to this operation. I have been chosen and I am equipped." Speak until the mind fog is eradicated. The third attack is a substitute blessing. It's the most dangerous infiltration because it disguises itself as something good. It's that logical opportunity that seems to relieve your stress and that everyone is pressuring you to accept. But in your spirit, the frequency doesn't align. It feels almost right, but not quite right. It's the enemy offering you a quality distraction to get you to abandon the Great One. The litmus test: does this offer force you to postpone your specific task? If the answer is yes, it's a substitute. Reject it immediately. The fourth attack is the manufactured crisis. A financial or health problem arises out of nowhere to demand your full attention. It feels like a life or death emergency. But stop, it's urgent, but it's not important. It's a control fire designed to distract you from the spiritual movement. The accountant: ask God, is this problem mine to solve today, or is it distraction? If you feel internal resistance, let it go. It will resolve itself as you focus on what matters. The fifth attack is the echo of betrayal. Someone in your circle will say something that strikes at your deepest wound from the past. It feels familiar because it's a projection designed to reactivate your trauma and make you run from your new authority. Counterattack: break the pattern. If you ran before, stand firm today. If you fought before, remain silent today. By changing your response, the echo dies from lack of fuel. The sixth attack is the resource drought. The flow of money or energy is cut off right after you say yes to the mission. It's a high-level loyalty test. Will you obey under pressure? The strategy: execute the bare minimum version of your mission. If you can't launch the organization, launch the conversation. If you can't write the book, write a page. Obedience and scarcity legally unlocks the flow of abundance. The seventh attack is the most lethal: physical shock. Your body tries to shut down. Extreme exhaustion or sudden illness strikes just as you're about to act. The enemy attacks the physical vessel to prevent the spirit from operating. Warning: this attack cannot be fought alone. It requires external intervention. Call on your support network or mentor with authority. Say, "I am under attack." Activate prayer. This is not weakness. It is basic military strategy. In the next 40 days, you will face at least 3 of these attacks in sequence. You now possess the war manual. By naming the attack, you reduce its effectiveness by 80%. John 7 verse 38 states that rivers of living water will flow from within you. The technical term is koilia, your innermost core. You are not a reservoir that needs to be filled. You are a power plant that constantly produces energy. Understand your role. You are not a student. You are an active source of divine frequency. Stop waiting for external downloads. You are the download. The world doesn't need what you know intellectually. It needs the frequency you carry. Just as recorded in Acts 5 verse 15 with Peter's shadow. Your mere physical presence should have the power to reshape the reality of others. Don't wait to feel ready to use your voice. Your assignment grants you automatic authority, and that authority emits the frequency that heals and brings order to chaos. Those designated to receive from you will be magnetically drawn to your location. You won't have to seek them out. Now, I'm going to give you the exact timeline. You're not going into this phase blind. I'm going to give you the roadmap of what will happen in your next 40 days. You'll know this transmission is real when day 7 happens exactly as I describe it here. Numbers 14:34 establishes that 40 days constitute a complete cycle of spiritual governance. This number appears 14 times in Scripture for a purpose. The flood, Moses, Jesus' time in the desert. The pattern is unchanging: testing, transformation, and ultimate implementation. Your 40-day execution period begins tonight. This is your war schedule. Days 1 to 7, activation week. Information downloads will increase in intensity. Your dreams will be raw, vivid, and full of specific details. Signs will be everywhere in your daily life. Don't waste time trying to analyze them yet. Document them. Capture the frequency in notes or recordings before it fades away. Order: do not share this information with anyone. Let the truth solidify within you. Days 8 to 14, test week. This is where the enemy will launch their first offensives. Displacement or identity confusion. Most mediocre players give up at this point because they believe the protocol failed. This is a miscalculation. The test is the legal proof that the protocol is operating. Apply the counter strategy I already gave you. Hold your fighting position. By day 14, the advance will be visible on the physical plane. Days 15 to 21, week of clarity. Your task ceases to be a vague concept. You will be able to define your mission in a single, direct, and powerful sentence. You will know precisely why you are on this planet. If the objective sounds too simple or too grand, you are on the right track. Days 22 to 28, week of connection. Your operational team will appear. Key people will seek you out of the blue. There will be encounters that the uninformed call random. Be careful. Not everyone is an ally. Some are infiltrators. Use your discernment. Real connections will feel like a reunion of former wartime officers, not a social introduction. Days 29 to 35, acceleration week. Everything will enter a high-speed flow. Doors, resources, and opportunities will collide with you. You'll feel the pace is almost unsustainable. It's a temporary acceleration designed to position you. Say yes to what scares you but empowers you. Say no to anything that smacks of obligation or empty commitment. Days 36 to 40, commissioning week. You will receive a final, absolute directive, a specific action that will trigger the start of your new operational phase. It will likely lack logic for your limited reasoning. Execute it anyway. Immediate and unquestioning obedience is your final key to access. Although that final action may seem insignificant or strange, it is the activation code for your entire future design. This is your roadmap. 6 weeks, exactly 40 days. At the end of this cycle, your former identity will have died. You will have a different name in the spirit records, a tactical task on Earth, and total authority over your genetic lineage. But listen to the truth that the weak ignore, the part that builds you up or destroys you. Success comes at a real cost. And it's not about money, time, or superficial sacrifice. The cost of success is utter loneliness. When you embrace your true identity of hierarchy, you inevitably surpass the frequency of those who knew you in your vulnerable state. This isn't arrogance. It's spiritual physics. Conversations that once nourished you now drain your energy. Places that brought you peace now suffocate you. Your own family circle will begin to feel like unfamiliar territory. If you don't understand this, guilt will crush you. You'll feel like you're abandoning those you love. But the technical reality is this. You're entering a transition corridor, and high-security corridors are always empty. Most fail because of the same mistake. They enter the hallway, see they're alone, panic, and run back to the old, dark room. They return to the people who keep them safe in mediocrity. They revert to the weak version of themselves they were all comfortable with. They spend the rest of their lives wondering what would have happened if they'd had the courage to keep going. Loneliness is not your final destination. It's a necessary passage. Your new, higher-level community hasn't arrived because you're still emitting frequencies from a previous season. Those who will walk with you at the next level won't find you until you completely release the baggage of the past. Don't back down. If you feel the loneliness of the ascent, don't interpret it as a miscalculation. It's the unmistakable sign that you're on the right path. Stay here, listen carefully, and don't move away, because the emptiness is simply the space God is clearing for something new. Listen to the roadmap for your daily mastery. If you allow the external world to define you, you'll be reactive and weak. If you declare your identity before the sun reaches its zenith, your day will align under your command. You will notice the results within 72 hours. Absolute clarity and inexhaustible energy. Action 1. Midday recalibration. When the sun is at its highest point, stop all activity for 90 seconds. Focus your attention on your solar plexus, just below your ribs. Don't ask with your mind. Authoritatively question your body. Am I aligned? If you feel contraction or physical heaviness, you are out of sync. At that moment, cancel the forced meeting and say no to the imposed obligation. Noon is not just a time. It is a real electromagnetic force. Either you synchronize your frequency with that of the Creator, or you'll be swept away by the chaos of the system. Action 2. Nighttime documentation. Before closing your eyes, identify 3 specific events. A synchronicity, a download of knowledge, and a person who appeared seemingly by chance. Review them mentally with objectivity. This trains your awareness to detect patterns of spiritual intelligence. By day 10, the map that was previously invisible will be perfectly clear to you. Action 3. The anchor object. Choose an object you touch daily. Your keys, your ring, or your phone. Assign a command. I'm transmitting. I'm on a mission. Reprogram that object right now. After 40 days, simply touching it will instantly change your mood. This isn't a ritual. It's pure neural reprogramming. It's the Hebrew Zikaron, reassembling what the world tried to forcibly tear apart. Here's the stark truth I've saved for this closing. God isn't going to tell you you're special. He's going to give you your assignment. You already know your true purpose. It's exactly what you can't stop thinking about, no matter how hard you try. Most of the chosen ones die with a vision trapped inside because they never understood the execution protocol. The protocol is a technical sequence that transforms a vision into physical reality. You are not becoming one of the chosen ones. You are remembering that you already were by original design. Your struggles were not punishments. They were high-intensity training drills. Every betrayal was a lesson in warfare tactics. Don't leave. Stay until the very last second, because this is your official commissioning. You have ascended from student to transmitter. The frequency you now carry has the power to reorganize matter in your wake. The 40 days have begun. The veil has been destroyed. Your crisis last month was not a process of destruction. It was a necessary demolition to build a greater structure. Your isolation this year was not social rejection. It was the incubation of power. Your confusion is not a system error. It is a signal clearing the interference. You are different because you are assigned to a higher frequency. Tonight, you reclaim the original mission you agreed to before birth. The spiritual amnesia is broken right now. The commission comes after the encounter. You have seen the glory and received the command. Now respond with technical obedience, not empty words. Prepare yourself. What follows is a high-level activation ceremony. If you are doing anything else, stop. If you are driving, pull over immediately. I need your full attention for the next 8 minutes. Visualize yourself in an empty, white room. Just you and the absolute presence. This is not a prayer. It is God working through you. Stand at attention now. Back straight, shoulders back. This is a legal posture of a soldier receiving direct orders from their commander. It's not a suggestion. It's your natural state of power. In the name of Yeshua, I decree that the atmosphere changes in this microsecond. The veil is destroyed paper. The portals are wide open. Heaven's emergency transmission is operating at full power. All interference and false signals are silenced under my authority. Father, here is your chosen one. You saw his tears at 3 a.m. and his prayers in the solitude of his car when no one else had the range to listen. You saw the loneliness he carried like a state secret. You say today, I saw it all. I documented it all. And tonight, the secret file is opened. I seal the midnight protocol in this lifetime permanently. I seal the 3 gates, recognition, validation, and transmission. I seal the 40-day cycle with its immutable divine checkpoints. I now download the counter-strategy against the 7 forms of enemy attack. I bind and nullify the spirit of manipulation that made you doubt your own perception. I bind the substitute blessing that tried to appease you with crumbs. I bind the manufactured crisis and imposter syndrome that forces you to shrink from imminent success. I break the lie that you're not ready. You are chosen, and that legally means you are equipped for war. From this moment on, you are a walking transmission tower. Your advancement extends through your lineage, forward and backward in time, cleansing your genealogy. I prophesy your execution path. In 7 days, you will receive your first irrefutable physical confirmation. In 14 days, you will neutralize the first attack with the strategy you received today. In 21 days, your mission will be crystal clear, without a single speck of doubt. In 40 days, you will wake up in a reality that your limited mind cannot even imagine today. I declare that resources now pursue you. You no longer chase after them like a beggar. Doors that were welded shut are falling off their hinges right now under the pressure of your glory. Relationships that drained you are losing their legal hold on your spirit. The waiting is over. The silence is broken. The transmission is on. Look at yourself closely tonight. Mark this as your before and after. This is your personal genesis, your burning bush, your road to Damascus. Tonight, finally, you reclaim the memory of who you are. Heaven awaits your answer to one final, crucial question. Are you ready to bear the weight of this power? Are you ready to be misunderstood? To lose those who cannot follow your path, and to definitively slay the old versions of yourself? Are you ready to be a high-frequency transmitter, even when your biological body feels exhausted? Are you ready to stand tall when everyone else around you falls due to their own weakness? In your mind, throw out an absolute yes. Without hesitation. Heaven heard it. The angels took note. Hell recorded your answer. And I heard it. You are now on active duty. Activation is complete and irreversible. You are officially out of the waiting room. You are out of the wasteland of confusion. Your training period is over. Take your combat position now. Don't say amen yet. Remain in absolute silence for the next 10 seconds. Let the frequency take root in your system. Let the seal of authority harden in your spirit. Subscribe now to solidify your legal authority. Accept your assignment and comment, protocol executed, to seal your official entry into the Hall of Success. The record of your power does not belong to the future. It is this very moment. Do not skip your destiny. Amen.